Please find a seat that feels right, and if you can, close your eyes for just a moment as we settle in. Take a deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Today, I want to talk to you about something that has been whispering to us throughout history, throughout science, and throughout your own life experiences. The art of asking the universe for signs. We often believe that the universe speaks only in grand, thunderous declarations, earthquakes, solar eclipses, or massive global events. But that is a misunderstanding. The universe does not shout. It whispers. It communicates through what we call synchronicities, those uncanny coincidences where two or more seemingly unrelated things happen at the same time to create a meaningful pattern. Have you ever had a thought about something, and then immediately saw an advertisement for exactly that thing? Or walked into a room and heard someone mention a conversation you've been having in your head since last week? We laugh it off as chance. But what if it wasn't? What if the universe is holding a conversation with us, waiting for us to learn how to listen? By the end of this talk, we will explore how to tune into that frequency. But before we get there, I want you to do something now. Think of one area in your life where you feel stuck, confused, or unsure about what path to take next. Don't worry if you don't have a concrete answer. Just hold that uncertainty gently. That feeling of not knowing is actually the perfect doorway for a sign to enter. Keep holding on to that question as we begin our journey. Let's start by defining what a synchronicity really is, because the term was coined by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, who realized that meaningful coincidences were not merely random chance. A true synchronicity occurs when an internal psychological state aligns with an external event in a way that creates meaning. It is the bridge between your inner world and outer reality. Think about this. If you are dreaming of flying a bird and then look up to see a flock of birds migrating, that is a coincidence. But if you have been feeling deeply overwhelmed by a decision about changing careers, and then you suddenly bump into an old colleague who works in that very industry, or you stumble upon a book with the title The Wings of Change on a bus ride, that is a synchronicity. The key word here is meaning. Random events happen constantly. Meaningful patterns require your participation. They require you to pause and say, wait a minute, why is this happening right now? So, how do we ask for these signs? How do we formulate a question that the universe can answer? The trick is in the specificity of your intention, not just the vagueness of it. If you ask, what should I do with my life? The universe might send you a sign about a job, or about travel, or about health, and you might miss the point entirely because the question was too broad. But if you narrow it down to, I am ready to take a leap of faith in my career, now the universe has specific data points to work with. We need to ask for signs that are testable, observable, and emotionally resonant. We cannot ask for something we are not willing to recognize immediately. The universe loves clarity. When you clarify your internal state, your fears, your hopes, your current limitations, the external world reflects that clarity back to you. Imagine asking a friend for help. Would they bring you a mountain if you asked them for an egg? No, they would give you an egg, or they might tell you about the store nearby where you can buy eggs. But if you asked for a mountain, they wouldn't understand your request. Similarly, the universe responds best to precise requests. Instead of asking, guide me, try asking, what small step am I missing that would make my next move clear? Instead of show me my future spouse, try, help me recognize the qualities and patterns of the partnership I am ready to create. Now, let's talk about recognition. This is where most of us fail. We miss the signs because we are too busy, or because we have a filter called skeptical logic that rejects the magic as mere probability. But how do we train ourselves to see them? Here are 3 common types of signs you might encounter in your daily life. The first is the visual echo. This happens when you notice symbols, colors, numbers, or images that keep popping up. You might see the number 1111 on a digital clock repeatedly when you think about a specific goal. Or you might notice that birds are flying in a specific formation that feels connected to your current mood. The trick is not to get obsessed with counting them, but to feel the intention behind them. When you see these symbols, stop and ask yourself, what does this represent for me right now? The second type is the auditory nudge. Have you ever heard a song that seems to jump out of the radio specifically when you needed comfort? Or have you heard someone say a phrase at a party that perfectly encapsulates a truth you've been struggling to articulate? The universe often uses sound as a carrier wave for information. Music is one of the most direct ways the universe speaks because it bypasses logic and goes straight to emotion. When a song plays, don't just press play and move on. Pause for 3 seconds and listen with your whole being. Ask yourself, what feeling is this song trying to bring up? Is it a reminder of courage? Or perhaps a warning to slow down? The third type is the environmental cue. This is when your surroundings subtly shift to support your path. Maybe you notice a door opening exactly when you were hesitating to walk through. Maybe you find money in an unexpected place right before you need a resource. Maybe you run into someone who seems like nothing more than a random acquaintance, but they have the exact advice or connection you needed. These are not just lucky breaks. They are green lights placed on your path by the universe. To recognize these signs, you must practice what I call the pause. In our fast-paced world, we react automatically. We see a number and scroll past. We hear a song and change the station if it's annoying. We walk past an open door because we are late. But to receive a sign, you must interrupt that automatic flow. Create a split second of stillness where you can acknowledge the event. Name it. Say out loud or in your head, "That was interesting." That simple act of naming creates a ripple effect that deepens the connection between you and the message. Remember, signs are rarely confusing. They are usually clear but often require you to slow down to perceive them. They are like ripples on a pond. If you keep skipping stones too fast, you miss seeing how they interact. As we draw toward the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this essential realization. Recognizing synchronicities is not a passive activity. It is an act of active trust. By choosing to look for signs, by tuning in to the subtle cues of your environment and your inner world, you are declaring that you believe reality is alive, responsive, and full of love. When you start noticing these patterns, something magical happens. Your anxiety about the future decreases because you realize you are not alone. You have a guide who speaks through coincidences. You begin to see life as a narrative with purpose rather than a chaotic series of accidents. The questions stop being burdensome and become invitations. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" you begin to ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" So here is your invitation for the days ahead. Carry a small notebook or keep notes on your phone specifically for signs. Every time something feels out of place, every time a coincidence strikes, jot it down. Over time, you will see your own life weaving itself together into a tapestry of meaning that you could not have planned. Let the universe speak through the numbers on your clock, the birds overhead, the song on the radio, and the stranger who smiles at you. Listen with an open heart, for the answers you seek are already arriving, waiting just for you to recognize them. You are never lost. You are always being guided.